Good evening and thank you for joining us for another episode of Business PNG. Following the successful financial literacy program late last year, in which thousands graduated, the Nationwide MicroBank successfully launched a Micash agent program during the week in the Sak Valley, Enga province. The Micash agent program is the only form of banking in a rural valley of 32,000 people. Michelle Bird with more.
The Nationwide MicroBank successfully launched a Micash agent program in the Sak Valley, Enga province. The Micash agent program is the only form of banking in a rural valley of 32,000 people. 80% of Papua New Guineans are unbanked, mostly due to the inaccessibility of any form of banking. With a common goal to solve this issue, Nationwide MicroBank was supported by the Bank of Papua New Guinea, the Asian Development Bank and AusAid. Together under the Microfinance Expansion Program, they successfully launched the Micash agent program in the remote Sak Valley of Enga province. Trudy Eggy, head of mobile banking for May Bank, explained how digital banking was the way to financial inclusion in the rural areas, whilst making an observation that in rural areas, more people owned mobile phones than they did bank accounts.
Plenty man only got bank accounts, but plenty man only got mobile phones. So trick them how we can tap in on this plan using mobile phone or giving access or financial services or money. So I don't need for financial services where they play mobile phone income. Mobile phone we play start program finish one time digital. So only putting system we come up with digital phone. What's that we talk? Suppose you are star 679 hash, now you send message come up and by saying also welcome to my bank, Micash. Micash and product will now be provided. Say exchange come by you. So when something like come up with this service, well firstly you're not working deposit, now you can work withdrawal here through this network. All you can work in is this mobile phone you go law agent, now give him number law agent, now suppose you are working deposit, you give him cash one time. Now digital agent go up by typing number you go agent law phone, then suppose successful. By phone you got message where you talk transaction successful. Now phone agent to by one time message come out. Now this message I'm showing also money where you give no agent. Let me come inside the banking system please. Let me start the records for Port Moresby.
Showing the support of the central bank was Deputy Governor of the Bank of Papua New Guinea, Benny Popoitai. He commended the efforts of everyone in bringing the first form of banking to the remote Sak Valley and is determined to see the 80% of unbanked Papua New Guineans participate in the country's economy. He also reassured the community that My Bank was a legitimate bank registered and licensed by the central bank, who would keep a close eye on My Bank to ensure equal due diligence and service to both urban and rural areas, stating that the central bank had two goals. First was for financial education, rolled out as the Financial Inclusion Program by the central bank, and the second was financial access in the form of encouraging and supporting microfinance institutions to reach out to rural areas such as the Micash agency program launch in the Sak Valley.
Time you put in money in our bank, you know some this bank as all the bank. The deposit you put in money inside our bank is safe. And primary workload, number one workload member. Yes, financial inclusion in a workload bank of PNG. But if suppose people are not working, nobody else will do it. Now, me like Tokosen. Now, me cash can now open. On that line, bank only look 7 or this one. No, but only come resist one time. Me bank here. So you got the population. This attitude play is right. So we might have a little bit of competition here. Me feeling more sorry. From here on, long as the infrastructure come up, support the government, we can transform this valley and transform this country too from here. Dr. Tony, we want to please people and we want to care. It will be like a ripple effect and spread toward Papua New Guinea.
Last week, Kina Securities Limited launched its new brand in Port Moresby. This completes an eventful and successful year in which the company marked its transformation as PNG's fourth largest bank following the recent acquisition of May Bank PNG. Dual-listed Kina Securities Limited launched its new brand last week, marking its transformation as PNG's fourth largest bank following the recent acquisition of May Bank PNG. Kina acquired the business from Malayan banking Berhad in accordance with the timetable outlined in the prospectus for Kina's 97 million Australian dollars initial public offering completed in July of this year. The acquisition enhances Kina's position as a leading funds management and financial services institution in PNG, providing Kina with a banking license, a substantial lending and deposit business, access to new markets, and significant operating synergies and cross-sell opportunities. Governor of the Central Bank, Loy Bakani, thanked both financial parties for their due diligence during the acquisition process.
Kina Bank will trade as a new entity and a license under new license given to them. On the other hand, May Bank PNG will cease trading as May Bank Limited as from this date today. So today, in fulfillment of the conditions of stock exchange, Kina has made an announcement and a press release. Also, we have released a press release telling the public, informing the public, which will be gazetted also to tell the public that we have a new entity now, a new bank taking over from May Bank PNG Limited.
Kina Group CEO Sid Yates said the distinct new brand was a reflection of the organization's proud local roots, while positioning it to support the future prosperity of PNG and its people.
Kina's been in Papua New Guinea for 30 years now, and we've been helping Papua New Guineans achieve their financial success over all those times. Following the acquisition of May Bank on the 30th of September, we thought it was best that we come up with a new brand that reflects the culture of the two organisations, but more importantly to reflect about, to modernise what we were doing, because we'd had our brand for a long time, our different brand. So we wanted to reflect what Papua New Guinea is all about. And it was important to make sure, because we were going out internationally, we had some international shareholders listing on the ASX. We wanted the opportunity to proudly reflect our homegrown heritage, and after all, we are Papua New Guinea's first homegrown bank here. So
the new Kina will operate through two main divisions, Kina Bank and Kina Wealth, offering a range of products and services including savings accounts, mortgages, business loans, insurance, stockbroking and financial advice, investment management, and funds administration. The Kina logo draws inspiration from the traditional woven bilum bag and the bold patterns of tapa bar cloth. The intertwined strands reflect the two-way partnership between Kina and its customers, converging in a common goal of prosperity, while the colors are inspired by the country's vibrant and extraordinary people, flora and fauna, reflecting a bright future for Kina and Papua New Guinea. The brand slogan, "Together It's Possible," makes a pledge to the Kina customers, reinforcing the strong relationship that is the cornerstone of the Kina brand.
we end up having with a really good share register, international share. I think we have around 31 international institutions invested in, plus individuals, and they come from Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia, the Pacific Islands, and also New Zealand. So, and of course Papua New Guinea, who are great big shareholders in the business. But what it does is also not just talking about Kina, it's also about helping sell Papua New Guinea. And we had to, there's a perception out there that there's not a lot of information. They only ever hear bad stories about Papua New Guinea. I think that was a good thing that we went out and did, is that it also not only helped Kina, but also helped about promoting Papua New Guinea to a certain extent to all these investors that are out there.
Expressing his views in Oxford Business Group's 2015 PNG report, Mr. Yates stated that a comprehensive range of diversified financial products and services, such as checking accounts and foreign exchange, will be in great demand among the entire population and not only the corporate sector.
The first thing in the year, we had to do the IPO, the initial public offer, and that happened at the end of July. Following that, we then made the acquisition, which was at the end of September. we're now doing the integration. So, I mean, most people only do one of those things, and we're doing all three. So what we're doing is about getting the integration done, working softly, and then we're working forward. We will be opening up, converting some of our old Kina branches into full-service banking branches. We'll end up having around 8 branches in the next 18 months, full service. We'll be able to offering cards that people can access right throughout Papua New Guinea, not just at Kina Bank. And we'll be launching some new technology over time, and about being more competitive in our offering services. And we want to be competitive, but we also want to make sure what we've always been good at is deliver good service to our customers that have been supporting us.
In Papua New Guinea, there are numerous research institutions, in particular regard to NRI, NARI, IMR, of who are mostly used for economic development of the nation. But at the same time, certain universities are doing research specifically for student development in regard to academic research. However, certain areas are left out if you consider the market. There is no research carried out in the consumer-based markets and industries. Because of this gap in the research industry, the IBS Research Center was initiated. From this subsidiary, a new research product transpired called PNG Pulse.
So these are all certain plus points regarding our research center, which is not presently available in Papua New Guinea by any of the other centers which are running at present. And in addition to that, this research center is providing data to the respondents based on their requirements. Let us, for example, if a client requires to add certain questions in the PNG Pulse, then we used to add such type of questions which are specifically for the clients, and that will not be used for other clients. Let us, for example, banking sector. If they want to publish some advertisement, in that situation, which media is more suited for making advertisement, which time they can have this advertisement, and which mode of advertisement attracts the public. Such type of information we include in our questionnaire based on this request of the client, and that will be given to that particular client, and that will not be revealed to the others. Such type of services we are providing by inclusion of questions into the questionnaire. Particularly we used to call it as PNG Pulse. And this is one segment of our product. Another segment of our product is customized research. If the company wants to carry out certain research which are basically required for their own requirement, then we used to conduct such type of researches also. Let us, for example, if a company wants to carry out employee satisfaction or job satisfaction, then a specific study be carried out only for that company. Suppose if a company wants to carry out 360-degree performance appraisal, taking all the stakeholders of the company put together for consolidation purpose, we used to conduct such type of research also. So these are all some of the plus points regarding our IBS Research Center, and by means of making partnership with our IBS Research Center, we are used to provide all the services to the public at very low cost.
The PNG Pulse team covers over 16 locations around Port Moresby with a mixture of demographic groups. Data collection usually takes over a month and is always a random selection. After all the surveys have been filled and collected, with quality control always being a key factor, the PNG Pulse team then take them back to their headquarters to sift through and collate.
The PNG Pulse is basically a syndicated market research project that we have. We conduct it 4 times a year, every quarter. The purpose of this particular product is basically to track the trends and changes in different industries. Because it's done in waves and it's continuous, so it allows organizations, it gives them the opportunity to track the changes and have an insight into the consumers' perceptions, their behavior towards changes in the various industries. So, like say, they can look at the finance for wave 4. So wave 4 is like final quarter 2015, and then compare it to wave 8 next year, 2016, wave 8 final quarter, and say, okay, this time last year, this is how the consumers looked at our products, and then this is the changes. So we see different changes, and it allows them to organizations to be more responsive to the changes One of the other important findings that we saw from our work is that Papua New Guineans are very optimistic about their economic, future. So we are a very optimistic country.
The research and data collection and collation allows PNG Pulse to establish a customer-based share of markets and competitors while profiling consumer demographics, lifestyles, and attitudes. The PNG Pulse team then identify and profile potential target customer segments for each product and track changes in the marketplace and consumer behaviors in response to industry activity.
And that's all we have for you tonight. For more business news, or if you would simply like to view this episode again, visit MTV online at www.mtv.com.pg, or to join the conversation, like our page on Facebook for daily business news, or follow us on Twitter with the Twitter handle at the bottom of the screen using the hashtag BusinessPNG. Until next week, enjoy the rest of your viewing on MTV. I'm Leanne Jarari, and this was Business PNG.